Good morning. That's good. Since 2011, the first day of GDC has been Google Developer Conference. Can I see a show of hands who's here for the first time? Wow, welcome. And for all the rest of you, thank you for coming back. It's been a tradition that we truly enjoy. Fun fact, Play is only 6 years old this month. All right, so what's exciting is that the market for gaming is showing tremendous momentum. In the last year, the number of Android users who have downloaded a game doubled compared to the previous 12 months. And 40% of these installs are coming from emerging markets like Brazil, India, Indonesia, Mexico. At Google, we're taking this very seriously and working on a ton of different things to help you reach a global audience. Today, we will talk about a few of those things. At Play, we are singularly focused on becoming the premier destination for discovery and distribution of your apps and games. Last week, we announced a Maps API that allows you to bring your game into the real world. Super exciting, isn't it? I can see nods. That's good. Today, we'll also announce that our Google Cloud platform can work across all platforms, PC, console, and mobile. We'll also have sessions on sharing with you the early momentum we are seeing in AR Core, as well as tips to get you started. Additionally, I want to share an initiative we kicked off last fall that is personally of interest to me. This is about women in gaming. Of the hundreds of millions of people who play mobile games, 49% are women. But our research showed that women are less likely to identify themselves as gamers, less likely to engage in gaming communities, and less likely to work in gaming. Look around. So we kicked off an initiative called Change the Game, where we want to empower and celebrate women both as players as well as creators. In one of the sessions today, we'll share insights we found from our research, so please take time to attend. Now, before I hand off to the other speakers, a few things about today. Today is about you. We have a whole lot of sessions which is focused on sharing all the new tools and techniques that we have been working on. I want to highlight 3 main ones. Immediately after the keynote, we will have a session on the new platforms and innovations. After lunch, we have 2 sessions, one which is focused on really thinking about how you can make your launch successful and the strategies that we can share with you, and then followed by a session on how to think about post-launch growth for your games. So I hope you'll stick around. This day is about you. If you have questions beyond today, please come to our booth Wednesday to Friday, where we'll have more sessions and we'll have people who will be there to answer any questions you might have. With that, I hand you over to Mark Vella to talk about game discovery on the Google Play Store. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Purnima. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Vella. I'm the head of games merchandising for the Americas on Google Play. And today, I'm thrilled to walk you through some of the improvements we're making to drive games discovery on Google Play, as well as the Play Games app. Play serves as a discovery engine for over 2 billion Android devices, and that spans across smartphones, tablets, or even your watch, TV, or car. And Play is also expanding beyond Android. The catalog is now being delivered to laptops powered by Chrome OS. And across all these form factors, Play's mission is to bring devices to life. And I firmly believe it's the incredible catalog of games that you all bring to the platform that delivers the most magical experiences. I'm going to touch on some key areas we're focusing our efforts to enhance discovery. Personalization is really the fundamental building block that's made even more powerful by having great content to recommend and more surfaces to show those recommendations. On top of that, we're also seeking to create new experiences via deeper curation, new sections, and new content types. Now, a lot of the magic of Play's recommendations happen behind the scenes, so I want to pull back the curtain and tell you all some of the changes we've made to match the right content to the right user. Late last year, we expanded our content taxonomy to classify games into thousands of different topics, and that feeds our personalization in a couple of ways. First, that taxonomy is used for our recently launched search refinements. You see this illustrated on the left. Users can now refine and filter search terms to distill down to more specific content types. So in this example, the user initially came in searching for racing games. They were presented with a number of different filters underneath racing games to distill it down more to match what they were looking for. They chose motorcycle, and you can see how the content adjusted to meet that need. Second, this expanded content taxonomy also powers the recommendations on our home pages. So we've transitioned our recommended for you collections. They were previously based on the 17 games categories on the store. We now can serve over 200 different genre and sub-genre based collections to our users. So the example that you see on the right, rather than having a broad collection of sports games, we can now dynamically maintain dozens of different, more specific sports collections to meet the user's needs. What does this mean for all of you? Ultimately, these personalized improvements give your games more opportunities to surface in more tailored, relevant collections. Now we know how important games are to our users, and I want to share several changes we've made to provide a more engaging browse experience that's specifically tailored to gamers. We'll start with navigation. As we all know, games are very different from apps, and we've now elevated games to its own destination to reflect this. This becomes a foundation for creating more experiences that are unique to games, such as more immersive recommendations with video trailers and actual screenshots of gameplay. We also want to give users more control of how they explore the catalog. One example is a separate premium section that we recently launched a few months ago. This highlights really the best paid games that we have on Play. Another great feature that we're showing on the premium page, hopefully most of you have seen our Games on Sale collection. This features a new capability we have with strike-through pricing. So it really conveys the great value that users are getting with a regular price, slash through it, and then the sale price. We've really seen awesome conversion uplift with this new feature. Now, within our recommendations, we also want to help users decide what to install by more clearly highlighting the best of the catalog. We've always had editorial curation at Play, but it's sometimes a little hard for a user to differentiate the personalized recommendations from the editorial curated selections and understand why they should care about this game, what really makes these games unique. So one of the major focuses for this year is creating these new editorial experiences. Hopefully, many of you have seen these richer, kind of long-form content articles that explain to users what we love about the games. These Editor's Choice articles are now live in 17 countries, and in addition to a dedicated section, the Editor's Choice section you can access from the homepage, we've also created an evergreen placement on both the homepage and the game's home. We continue to add new articles as we publish them. We really strive to celebrate diverse games on Google Play, and we really think a lot of the gameplay innovation that comes to the platform comes from our indies. So we've put a ton of effort into amping up our indie games featuring via two key areas. First, our Indie Corner destination continues to be improved with more visually exciting ways to browse the catalog and help users discover their favorite new indie game. And second, we've expanded our Indie Games Festival from its initial roots in San Francisco a few years ago. We're now running contests in London, South Korea, Japan, and most recently, we had our first ever Latin American Games Festival, Indie Games Festival in Sao Paulo, Brazil last month. We had over 200 nominations from developers in 17 countries and just had incredible engagement. So lots of momentum behind our Indie Games program, and we're looking to do more here. discovering new games is particularly important to gamers, and we're approaching this need in a couple different ways. Similar to the premium page I just showed, we've also recently rolled out a section dedicated to new games. Here we seek to really showcase the latest high-quality releases on Play. I also want to talk about our pre-registration program, which continues to just drive incredible results. We started our pre-registration program about 2.5 years ago, and during that time, we've driven nearly 200 million pre-registrations for over 300 participating games. We're working hard to expose pre-registration in multiple places to build on that momentum and drive even more results. So another thing I want to highlight is a new feature we're testing out right now with Westworld called Milestone Rewards. This just kicked off last week after we worked with a partner to announce this, and what you see here is a tiered set of rewards that users can earn as the community reaches these different pre-registration thresholds. So we've already hit the 250,000 pre-registration threshold. That unlocks this character Lawrence for everyone who's pre-registered, and there are 3 more tiers that users can hit as we get to 500,000, 750,000, and 1 million. So really excited about this feature. We think it's just going to drive a lot of momentum to get an entire community to drive towards getting these rewards. Now, the store can also do more than just help users find new games to install. It should also be a destination where users can find out what's happening in the games they already have. We know how it's hard to sustain engagement. We want to help out here. So we've started highlighting major in-game events and live ops through store featuring. You can see an example of the FIFA banner we did for a squad building challenge. And we've also rolled out what we're calling live ops cards on Games Home. Hopefully many of you have experienced this. These live ops cards highlight exciting events happening right now in those titles, whether it's a limited time event, discounts, some form of new content, a number of different things that we hope will compel users to come back into the games. Lots of exciting improvements here, and I can't wait to expand this even further. Because we're Google, we continue to experiment with innovative ways to drive more exciting engagement with users. So I want to actually share with you a pilot we just kicked off. Vast majority of you are probably not seeing this because it's a very small experiment, but we are beginning to run experiments that present a different set of information depending on a user's state within the game. So on the left, you see what a user who has not yet installed the game may see. Ratings, number of downloads, some screenshots, description of the game, things that will hopefully get them to try it out for the first time. On the other hand, if a user already has the game, we should show them different information. And that's what you see here on the right. Some of the live ops cards information I just showed you, in-game events that are happening right now, new content, and also if there's been an APK update, some new features, new modes, etc. So we're excited about this. We hope to see some positive results so that we could roll it out. I also want to highlight some of the amazing improvements that have been made to the Play Games app. This past November, we fully redesigned the app to let users easily launch the games they have installed. And just this past month, we added a number of game re-engagement features. So in addition to tracking their achievements and leaderboards, users can now see live ops, related news, and YouTube videos. Also, the new arcade prominently features an innovative new tag browsing experience to help users find their next favorite game. These updates have driven significant increases in engagement. We're excited to bring even more to the Play Games app in 2018. So that wraps up our overview of the key improvements we're making on the Google Play Store to drive games discovery, as well as the Play Games app. Thanks so much for your time, and now I'll hand it off to Jonathan, who's going to tell you about a really exciting feature that goes one step beyond discovery.
Hey everyone. Sorry about that. So Mark talked about how we as Play try to get the right user to the right game. And we do that through personalization, editorial content, and a new games destination. So if we've done our job right, you land on a store listing page like this. And you have one last step. You have to click install. And then you have to wait. And as APK size gets larger, you have to wait longer. And then if you haven't done something else at this point and gone out and done something else, you have to come back and hit open. At I/O last year, we talked about instant apps, bringing instant to all apps. And we now are bringing the same technology to games. We call it Google Play Instant. Roll the video. So welcome to Google Play Instant, where apps and now games can be played instantly. And when you see that brand, Google Play Instant, you know exactly what type of experience you're about to jump into. And on the Play Store, it looks like a Try Now button. And you see it here on the left. And when you click it, you jump in a native experience. This is the same code as you have in your installed game. And the user has an option to install while they're in that instant experience. And developers have been trying a few different things. Some do a whole level, a first level of their game. Some do the training level and do 2 battles like Clash Royale does. And some do just smaller experiences. The choice is up to you as a developer. Now, we've been running live experiments since December with Clash. And for a few other partners, some have launched this morning. And some have launched a few weeks ago. So this live testing, we have some early data that we wanted to share with you. And so what we're seeing from the Play Store is 4 to 19% increase in new players. Those are new installations that are incremental to what was happening previously. So let me try to walk you through how that's actually happening. So let's go to the old world, where you just have an install button. What happens? Let's say this whole audience goes to the store listing page. Now, let's say this part of the audience, you all are going to hit install. Now, this part of the audience, you guys have a fear of commitment. You're not ready to put that 98 megs on your phone, or maybe you just don't understand what it is because it's an app icon or the video didn't explain exactly what the experience is. So this part of the room, you are going to abandon. Now we have a new option. And what do we see? This part of the room, if you were going to install before, you're continuing to install. There's a big, bold install button, and that's what you came to do, and you're going to continue to do that. We haven't seen even a change in click-through rate for install buttons. This side of the room, the fear of commitment. You guys have a new option. You have a dating option, a first date button. And that allows you to try out the game and then see if you want to commit. So what we're seeing is a 25% increase in clicks on this page. Again, all of you are continuing to install, and now we're getting an increase in clicks on the page because of our fear of commitment group over here. And have we changed your commitment fears? Absolutely. 30% of you that land in the instant experience are now installing, which is awesome. We were really happy with these results. But at I/O last year, you never heard me talk about Play Store. We actually didn't even have a Try Now button for apps until October. The real opportunity has always been outside the Play Store. So we're really excited about the 4 to 19% early data. But the real opportunity, we believe, is outside the Play Store. So let's walk you through that. First is ads. The old world. You click on an ad. You land in a Play Store listing page with an option to install. The new world, you click on an ad. You land in an instant experience with an option to install. In both experiences, you have an option to install. You're just now getting to play and evaluate the game as you determine if you want to install. Mark talked about the update to the Play Games app. So you have this great pre-roll video, and it's like really immersive experience. Guess what? You scroll up, and you see an instant gameplay collection that you get to launch instant experiences right from the Play Games app. So it's a great discovery engine. The third one I'm most excited about, which is social invite. So Ben Frankel is about to come up here. He's going to do a deep dive into Google Play Instant. But he loves games. He loves playing Clash Royale. And before I played, he would email me and text me constantly to join his clan. And I had no idea what this meant. It was quite annoying. And so I would sometimes click the URL. I would go to the website for Supercell, which would tell me to go to the Play Store, which would then tell me to install. And by the time I got there, I forgot why I'd even clicked here originally. I lost context. But now I click that URL, and I'm playing the instant experience, and I'm like, oh, that's what it means to join a clan. I get it. I install, and I immediately join the clan because the context continues with that experience. And Supercell is actually seeing a shift in their installs, more coming from social invite because the value proposition to the user is that much higher. And finally, the Play Store, which I've already touched on, but I just wanted to highlight this again because now if you go to the Home tab of the Play Store, you will see the instant gameplay collection. You can actually play all our instant apps today. So you should go out and try it in your break when you actually have Wi-Fi, and you can see all of the live partners that we have today. So shifting to the developer side, I just want to talk a little bit about what we've been up to since I/O. The first thing is we made sure we were backward compatible to Android L on 1 billion devices. At I/O, we were about 150 million devices or so that's been a big effort to make sure you can reach all your users on Instant. The second thing was full native support, to make sure that instant experience is identical to the installed game. Now, our effort today is to try to get instant apps into every developer's hands, make sure that anyone can develop an instant app. So that's kind of been an early program that we kicked off end of last year. Step one was to make sure this is technically viable. We weren't even sure if it was possible. So we had a closed beta, we brought in game developers, and it's very much possible. They proved it to us, and we were really surprised how many developers were able to develop an instant app in a relatively short period of time. So check, it's technically feasible. You can go from your 100 meg app to 4 megs or 8 megs. Second, does this actually cause business uplift for our developers? And the early data is a strong check. We see it in the Play Store, and we think the opportunity is outside the Play Store. So that's why we're announcing today, because we really think that this is a huge opportunity for our game developers. But the next step is to make sure that any developer can develop an instant app. And that's going to take a little more work from us. And also, we're going to talk about partnerships we have with Unity and IDE support in our next talk with Ben. And he'll dive into what it takes for us to get to general availability in the next few months. With that, I want to thank all our partners. Please give them a round of applause. We really couldn't be here talking about Google Play Instant today without them. They've been a huge help in getting the technology to where it is today. And with that, we're going to shift to the agenda of the day. Back to the agenda. Don't worry, we're coming back to Google Play Instant in a second. So we're going to kick off the innovation and new platforms and the sessions for that theme right now. With that, I'm going to invite Ben Frankel, who's leading the game effort for Google Play Instant, and he's going to do a deep dive into Google Play Instant. Thank you.
Thanks, John, for inviting me up here. I'm excited. But you know what? I wonder if we could look at that slide again with all the partners for a second.
Sure.
I think there's a name missing here.
Who would that be?
Limbic's not on here.
Oh, well, this is all our partners that have launched. Limbic, I believe, started developing a week ago, and they're trying to do an AR game, which I don't think is going to be possible for instant apps. It just can't get to that size. So that's why, thank you, Limbic, for all your effort, but we're not ready to put them on this slide.
Well, it's actually up on the store already, so...
Well, then prove that it works.
I will do that. All right. Now all the pressure's on me. So, can we switch to La Demo? Demo go. All right. Can you see this? All right, good. Whew. Demos are always stressful. OK. So, this is Zombie Gunship Revenant from game developer Limbic. And it's an AR game. So the first step here is I'm going to open up this infrared camera and take a look at the audience here. I'm not seeing a lot of faces, but it does make it look like I'm already surrounded by zombies a bit. So I've dropped my base down here. You know, imagine I just got here in the morning, I'm manning my gunship helicopter, and of course, when my shift starts, large numbers of zombies start attacking. And thankfully, though, I can control my helicopter through movement in augmented reality. So I can zoom in to get up close and personal with these zombies. And I have a bunch of awesome weapons, too. So I've got the sniper rifle, which allows me to pick them off one at a time. And I've got these 2 Gatling guns, which allows me to mow down large groups at once. But my favorite by far is the Hellfire Missile. This thing blows stuff up. And let me find a large group of angry, brain-eating zombies here to demonstrate. Oh, that's super gratifying. And also, by the way, a great way to distress after a hard day at the office. And so I'm doing a terrible job defending this base, I admit. I'm not very good at this. I aspire to be better. It's not there yet. And, but there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here. This game was built entirely in native code. It's built on AR Core, which you'll be hearing about a lot today. And it loads up instantly. And yep, I've just lost my base. Typical. All right. And what was particularly impressive, for me at least, was that Limbic built their Google Play Instant version of Zombie Gunship in just 1 week. At least I was impressed. Hopefully that's given you a taste of what's possible with Google Play Instant. So John gave you a great overview of Google Play Instant, and what I want to do now is first take a step back and give you a sense of our overall vision for Google Play Instant, and then dive a little deeper into what our early access partners are doing and how they're succeeding in building instant apps. And there are 3 things I really want you to take away from my talk today. So the first is, Google Play Instant will transform game discovery. 2, that top developers are already on board and succeeding. And 3, game devs, large and small, can build instant apps. And it wasn't that long ago that I was talking to, actually, I forgot the most important part, an audience participation moment that I had planned. And let me just give you some context here. So year after year, we hear that discovery persists as one of the biggest challenges for game developers. And so I want to see a show of hands. How many of you in the audience feel that discovery is still one of your biggest problems as a game developer? Okay, that's most of you. And this is a really meaty problem to solve. And so it was one of the reasons, the opportunity to have a big impact on this area that inspired me to join this team in the first place. And it wasn't that long ago that I was talking to John, who had been bothering with Clash Royale invites for months. And he started to lay out the story for bringing instant apps to games. And as he was doing that, it really clicked for me that by bringing instant apps to games, we have the opportunity to transform game discovery. And we know that this is possible because, in fact, we've seen this movie before. Whenever media becomes instant, consumption goes up. Speed is a huge competitive advantage. We've seen this with music streaming and movies, and before that, Google proved the transformative impact of speed with instant search. music is a particularly good case study on the transformative power of instant. There's a bunch of studies on the subject, and they all pretty much say the same thing. When music became instant, users played more songs, users heard more unique genres, they listened to more unique artists, and ultimately they found better matches for their unique tastes. It transformed how people discovered music. And we believe that instant can do the same thing for you, all of you in the audience, the game developer. Imagine users trying more games, exploring more genres, and ultimately finding more games they love to play. That could have a transformative impact on your business. And that promise is why we want to do the same thing for games. We want to turn playing into the primary way people discover and evaluate games. No longer will users solely learn and evaluate games on the basis of icons or text or even screenshots. When games are instant, it'll just be easier to play them. And now I'd like to show you a glimpse at the future of game discovery through the Play Games app. All right. So imagine that I have about 10 minutes to spend right now, which I do not, but imagine for a second. If I had 10 minutes to spend and I wanted to play a puzzle game, and my goal is to head to the store, or in this case, the Play Games app, and find a cool puzzle game, play it, and enjoy it, right? That's the goal. The goal is to play the game. So we kind of know how this would go today. So you'd go to a store, you would go to the home page, you would compare icons and titles, and maybe you'd go through to the store listings of a few of them. And at the end of that, you might install 1 or 2 games. But instead, now we fast forward to the future where you land on a collection like this of puzzle games. And you can see that there are a number of them there. And instead of going to the Play Store, when we click one of these links, it will launch directly into the instant experience. So this is Bubble Witch 3 Saga from King. It loads instantly. And in about 30 seconds here, I'm going to be able to complete this entire map. I have to save these glorious owls, which are being shielded by these powerful bubbles. And I'm able to get a sense for what this game is like. I'm able to compare it to games that I've played before. And if I can aim properly, I will have finished this map. Think about that. Right into the gameplay experience. And what's particularly powerful about this is that I can do this again. So I'm loading up another game. This is Panda Pop from Jam City. It's built with Unity. And again, jump right into the gameplay experience. And now I have a good reference point. So I'm looking for an awesome puzzle game. I kind of know that I want to play something like this. But this is definitely a really great way for me to understand what I like about the game, understand whether or not it's worth ultimately installing it. And it takes about another 30 seconds to finish this, so for the purposes of brevity, I won't go all the way through it. But the point is that if I had 10 minutes, I could have played 10 games or more. And because it's instant, because it's using Google Play Instant technology, I don't have to then go back and remove 10 games after the fact. It's a great way to explore. And if we can do this, if we can do that, and we can enable that kind of experience, we'll have fundamentally changed how people discover games. Right? You're playing the game rather than just reading about it. Let's go back to the slides. And we've been working with an amazing set of partners in the lead up to today. These partners and their games cover the complete spectrum. So we know that whether you're a giant publisher or an indie studio, Whether your games are huge, hundreds of megabytes, or small, Google Play Instant will work for you. And when you build an Instant app, it will be accessible from almost anywhere. And now I'm going to talk to you about the discovery services that Play and Google can provide. You can look at them as a bundle of services that are unlocked by building an Instant app. So there is Try Now on the store. It's very popular, which John walked you through earlier. And John already showed you what a big brand like Supercell with Clash Royale can accomplish. And based on Supercell's experience, they're excited about making their games accessible and introducing them to a wider audience through Google Play Instant. So we know the impact is there for the biggest publishers. For less established brands, the impact can be even more profound. Mighty Battles from Hothead Games has seen a 2x uplift on click-throughs on their store listing, attracting a whole set of new users to their game. So just to carry John's analogy forward, imagine if this half of the audience was installing, and before this half of the audience, the ones with commitment problems, were doing nothing, abandoning. In the world of Mighty Battles with Try Now, this half of the room still installing, so that's good. This half of the room, everybody is clicking Try Now. Everybody is clicking Try Now. That is transformative to them. And our preliminary data shows that the Instant app drove a 19% uplift in user acquisitions for them. It exceeded their expectations. And here is what their director of marketing, Oliver Birch, said. So Hothead Games is excited about the results and are looking to expand Instant to the rest of their portfolio of games. In fact, they've already started working on their next Instant app for Hero Hunters. And to be clear, everything I just said is about the Try Now button alone. But there's more. Soon, coming to the store will be Instant-enabled banners. So when users click the banner, they will be directly launched into the Instant experience. Picture something like this being the first experience a user has with your game, being able to become instantly immersed in the heart of battle. We'll also have an evergreen, curated collection of the best Instant experiences, providing another way to get your games discovered. Our partners also see ads as a great application of the Instant format. In fact, most of our largest partners are particularly excited about this one. And that's why I'm happy to say that we're already exploring ways to bring Instant apps to AdWords and Universal App Campaigns, or UAC for short. And in the coming months, once you've created an Instant experience for your game, UAC can start automatically driving users to it from its ads. Belinda from our ads team will actually be up here a little bit later to talk to you more about innovations in the ads team. And then there is Google Search. You might have heard of it. And in the near future, you'll be able to search for a game like Words with Friends 2 and launch the Instant experience directly from the search results. And as you've already seen, the Play Games app provides a sneak peek at the future where playing becomes the way users discover, evaluate, and compare games. So that covers all the Play and Google discovery services you unlock just by building an Instant app. But the store and Google properties are just the start. I think Bernard Kim, Zynga's president of studios, captures this perfectly here with this quote. The opportunity goes well beyond the store to the multitude of new entry points Google Play Instant makes possible. And when you put cool technology in the hands of a partner like Zynga's, great things happen. New, exciting ideas are formed. Ideas like social invites, sharing, and cross-promotion are huge opportunities that Zynga identified. So what I'm about to show you are Zynga's explorations of what's possible with Google Play Instant. So can we roll the video? So ideas like social invites. So a friend sends you an invite in Words with Friends 2, you click the invite, and you're taken right into the game where you can complete a turn before you're prompted to install. Here's a great example of social sharing from Farmville. So imagine one of your friends shares their farm with you. They're proud of it, they've been working on it for a while. And when you accept the invitation over chat, you jump directly into the game and can start engaging with your friend's farm right away. Not the Play Store listing, not a web page, you jump right into the experience. And cross-promotion is another great use for Instant. So imagine you just completed a battle in Dawn of Titans and you click through the cross-promotion link to CSR2, and we're instantly transported into a race like this. It's visceral. You get to experience the game, and you don't have to wait, because it's instant, of course. And that's the promise of instant apps. So let me stop there for a second. That was a lot to absorb. So to recap, we just covered 1, Play surfaces including Try Now, banners, collections, and the Play Games app. 2, beyond Play, we talked about the power of ads and Google Search. And 3, we covered new game entry points like social invites, sharing, and cross-promotion, each benefiting from Google Play Instant. Now, if I've done my job right, you should all be excited about the opportunity of Google Play Instant. So the logical next question is, so how do I build an instant app? I'm glad you asked. The short answer is you'll be able to build your instant app the same way you build games today and with the same tools. And there are 3 things that we've changed. So first, we raised the size limit to 10 megabytes, just for games. We've enabled the progressive download of executable code and assets with a split install API. And very importantly, we've added full support for native code and are integrating with game engines. And there are 2 key reasons why we made these changes. First, games are just bigger. On average, games are over twice the size of apps. And we've increased the size limit to 10 megabytes because the expectations of players are different for apps and games. And progressive download gets users into games faster because you don't have to download the whole thing at once anymore. And second, most games today are either built with a game engine like Unity or Cocos or native code. So what we've done is enable game developers to use the tools they're already comfortable with to build instant apps. And this is vitally important, as this quote from Playtika illustrates above, because it means that you can use the same code base as your full game to build your instant app. You can build from your same code base. That's incredibly powerful. And to make that possible for Unity developers, to be honest, probably most of you in the audience, we have to work closely with the world's most widely used game engine, Unity. More than 60% of mobile games on Play are made with Unity, and we're excited to announce that we're partnering with Unity to support Google Play Instant. And through this close collaboration, millions of Unity developers will be able to optimize their current and future games for Google Play Instant. We're also excited to announce that Cocos is adding instant support to their IDE, Cocos Creator. But they're going beyond just adding support in the IDE. They're adding tools to simplify the process of trimming down the game into instant form. And we have a treat for you today. Cocos has provided a sneak preview of their integration with instant apps, and it's awesome. Can we roll this video? All right. So imagine you built a game in Cocos Creator, and you're ready to build your instant experience. You click Android Instant as the platform, and you enter in a recording mode. And what's happening here is that as you're playing the game, all the assets that are being used in this portion of the game are tagged and time-stamped, the portions of code that are used. And once this recording experience is over, and you finish killing all these zombies, you then can go into the refactor stage. And the refactor stage will look a little bit familiar to you probably if you're familiar with nonlinear editing suites. So what's happened is there's been a screen capture created while you've been recording what assets are used, so you can understand exactly where you are when you're trying to understand where this asset was used. And all of the assets are clustered together. You can drill down into each one of them, and you can swap out assets and hide them. And that red bar there determines where the APK cutoff will be. So you move it to the left, all the numbers of files go down, as well as the megabytes. And conversely, as you move it to the right, you're getting a bigger game. But this allows you, with pinpoint accuracy, to figure out what portions of your game make a great fit for instant, and greatly reduces the skill involved that would otherwise require refactoring. And so now you're just going back into the regular flow, build, compile, play, which we'll wrap up here in a second. Yes. And fast forward here, and you can see the output. So this is just an early preview of what they are building, and there are lots of details still to work out. But we think this represents a great path to easy, painless instant app development. So to recap, I want you to walk away keeping these three things in mind. 1, Google Play Instant will transform game discovery. 2, top developers are on board and already succeeding. And 3, game devs, large and small, can build instant apps. And this is just the beginning of our journey. We're going to continue to invest in faster startup times, better tools, and new discovery surfaces. But before I go, I wanted to show you one more awesome demo, just one last one. Let's see. So this demo, in fact, wasn't sure at the beginning of the day if we were going to be able to do it, so I should have an email with a link to it. Just give me a sec here. Okay. Okay, we're ready to go. So what you're about to see here is a demonstration of what's possible with Google Play Instant. This is a tech demo that Zynga just pulled together with CSR2. So let's say that a friend just got an awesome car like this Lamborghini and wants to brag about it, because who wouldn't? It's a pretty awesome car. They could send you a link, just like Jake did to me, and you'd be able to jump right into this experience. And it's already a stunning model. You can open up the doors and interact with it. But there is more. This, in fact, has an AR mode where I can place this amazing car right here on the stage. I can shrink it down here, spin it around some more, open up the doors. I can actually go and take a seat in my dream car. Let's see if I can do that. And I can look at these most insane details. I don't know why they're all there, but it's cool in AR to be able to do this, right? So let's take a step back. That was CSR2. It was a game that, in full form, is over 1 GB. It's built on Unity. It's built on AR Core. So if CSR2 can work for Google Play Instant, any game can. So that's the message I want to leave you all with, unless I can see the rest of my slides. But and oh, there we go. Ask and you will receive, apparently. All right, so be on the lookout for the rest of these posters around GDC. And if you have an Android device, you can open Google Assistant, click the camera, hold it up to the QR code to play the instant version of Words with Friends. So what's next? Well, if you haven't already, first go check out the Google Play Instant collection on the Play Store. And though we're not quite ready to open up the games beta to everyone just yet, today you can go check out the case studies and documentation at g.co instant apps. Click on the Stories link for case studies that explain how our partners optimize their games for Google Play Instant. And last, you can sign up at g.co play instant beta to get updates on our progress, and we'll email you with the latest news. And with that, again, one last time, thank you for your time.